And then, of course, as a owner position, for him or her, she will think that, hey, maybe let's wait for the second offer to proceed. But in the end, the second purchaser will make an offer that he wish to bring a contractor to inspect the house one more time before proceed. And then the owner want to wait for it because there's a higher offer.
So owner will think that, I get an offer, is very good, so I will wait, I will drag. But you forget that while we can keep the buyer warm, but buying a house, buying property, whether you're buying for investment or you're buying for own stay, I think from my many years of real estate and in meeting so many buyers that it is at the end of the day an emotional decision.
Okay, this is in the situation yang you know that there's something that happened. What if you don't know? But you find out the person I put down, I'm going to sign, and then you find out, something happened.
Oh my god, I'm gonna tow the person at the back putting up the tow truck chain already. Wow, this is a tough question. I hope we don't have to go to that level lah.
I was holding 100 pieces of brochure, just take out from paper, open. Then suddenly, I was looking at the sales scale model. Next thing is,
Welcome back to the Yin Homes podcast, where we talk about real estate and beyond. My name is Yin Ping.
I'm Go Hao.
I'm Samuel.
I'm Kenneth.
Make sure you follow us, click like and subscribe on all our socials. We're on YouTube and Facebook at Yin Homes, and you can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at yin.homes. And if you're looking for a place to buy, rent, or sell in the TTDI area, head over to our website at yinhomes.my for more information.
And if you're watching or listening to this, we decided to do this podcast for many reasons. One of them is a way of sharing and communicating with our audience, be it clients, buyers, sellers, people who are interested in real estate. Topics, issues, tips, or even experiences about what's happening in the real estate sector.
For today's episode, we have two special guests that will be joining us, both of which are part of the Yin Homes team but tend to work behind the scenes. For our first guest, we have our marketing project manager, Raisa.
Oh, this is very different.
This is very different.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, now you know how you feel. Every time you make us do this.
I'm so sorry. And I can see myself this time. So hi, I'm Raisa. You might have seen me in some of our social media videos here and there. But I'm normally behind the scenes. I am the marketing project manager of Yin Homes, and I've been working with the team for about a year plus now. And so far, I've been enjoying myself.
All right. That's not.
Sure.
I'm on the hot seat now. Okay, so today I will be hosting this segment of the episode. We'll be diving into the ethical dilemmas of the real estate world. I will mostly just be questioning the team on their stances and opinions. We'll explore how the industry isn't just about buying and selling, but also how it involves key moral questions. Just a disclaimer, I am not a real estate agent, and I'm a little bit too young to be getting into the world of property just yet. So I will just be going over a couple of situations with the team to see, what they think or how they might maneuver around if they were in these situations. So we'll start with my first question, which I will direct it to Kohao.
Wow.
Yeah.
For her first.
Yeah, Kohao first,
So we know whom she likes the best.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Don't be too disappointed.
You'll be the next.
Okay, so Kohao, when faced with multiple offers on a property, how do you decide which one to accept? Do you prioritize the highest bid, or are there other criteria that influence your decision?
For me, I will always focus on the first offer that the owner has agreed on. Because most of the time, I don't want to make the deals become complicated. And I'm in the midst of negotiating with the owner and tell the owner that, hey, Mr. Owner, I actually got another higher bid for your house. I think it will not really fair to the purchaser as well. Because for the first offer, that the actually owner has agreed on, and I propose another offer to the owner, which will make this deal become more uncertainty.
But what if, just throwing it in the mix, I mean, what you're saying is, I guess it's quite one-sided. But what if the next offer is a higher offer? Then are you obligated? Because you essentially represent the owner, right? The owner's the one paying a commission. So what you're saying is that you won't present it just to get the deal smooth, or is the owner's interest a priority to you?
You cannot you want to answer that first?
Okay, if sellers are rational, they will want to go for the highest offer possible, right? I think we can all agree to this.
It's human nature, right?
Yeah, human nature. Of course, I want to sell high, right? The higher, the better.
Yes.
But in our line, it is not just about, it cannot be just factor in just about the price, because there are many factors involved. Because in the sale, there is also certain conditions in the sale. All right. Maybe the offer might be subject to a bank loan, or is the offer a cash offer, or does the owner is obligated to fulfill a vacant possession timeline, or or maybe ourselves during our interaction with the buyer and seller, we can actually know that this buyer is going to be difficult. During when it until the stage of the SMP, he might come up with certain criteria that the owner needs to meet. So all this, I think, we as agents, we know the buyer and we should properly inform the owner. And I think what Kok Hao meant is that not that he wouldn't present the next offer to the owner. It's just that what he thinks is the best offer considering all the other circumstances, that might be the offer. He just doesn't want to cloud the seller's mind, sometimes.
I mean, that reminds me of a story that we've heard recently. One of our friends, colleague as well, I suppose, in real estate, he said recently there was a deal that he was handling. There were two competing offers, right? Was two competing offers
Yes.
on the deal, and they kept bidding higher and higher and higher. But in the end, he took the offer that was slightly lower. Why was that?
Actually, there's a scenario. Actually, also in my beginning of my career also, because I faced there's a case. There's actually two offers. The first one actually is also what owner looking at, and then the second one is a slightly higher offer. So I'm actually present both offer to the owners, and then of course as a owner position, for him or her, she will think that maybe let's wait for the second offer to proceed. But in the end, the second purchaser will make an offer that he wish to bring a contractor to inspect the house one more time before proceed. And then the owner want to wait for it because there's a higher offer. And then in the end, it end up the first buyer decided not to proceed because it's taking him too long, and he decided to move on to another house and proceed with that. And for the second purchaser, after the inspection, he found that he need to fork out more cost to renovate the house. So for himself, he also on hold. So in the end, it's a
Lose situation.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that people tend to forget is that in negotiation, I mean, before we circle back to the story earlier, is that in negotiation, I think time is of essence. It's not. So owner will think that, I get an offer, is very good, so I will wait, I will drag. But you forget that, well, we can keep the buyer warm, but buying a house, buying property, whether you're buying for investment or you're buying for own stay, I think from my many years of real estate and in meeting so many buyers that it is at the end of the day an emotional decision.
Yeah,
The
it's true.
numbers can make sense all you want in the ROIs, in the yield. I mean, there's so many ways to calculate everything. But in the end, all our savvy investors will always say, this house feels right. I don't know if you all have experienced that before.
All right. And this brings me back to the days when I was with my real estate mentor. All right. He quoted me a phrase. He said, the first offer is always the best offer. I mean, what do you all think of that? Do you think the first offer is always the best
Yes.
offer? Yeah.
I agree. I think like
Is this everyone looking at me? Okay.
I don't know,
I
because
say that.
you just feel like you're disagreeing on some level.
Yeah,
We're not really
no,
sure.
I'm actually agree with that because I think as an agent, we of course we wish that the owner can get a higher offer as well. I think for us, another our main goal is that to make sure the deals can be go smoothly,
Mm.
yeah, and make it happen. I think
Correct.
Agree.
it's our main priority
Agree.
to focus
Yeah.
on. And also, I think for Xavier, you also go through a lot of like rental. I would like to listen from your side. How's the situation?
Yeah, I strongly agree with Yimping. Timing really plays a very important
Important
role
role,
in
yeah.
terms of, especially when we are negotiating. And sometimes, yeah, the next offer might be higher, but I mean, you also need to consider, hey, what if don't have ready leh? What if uh the next offer is higher, just that with different terms, or
They have
Yeah.
more requests.
more requests, profession you don't like, pets you don't like.
Maybe they got 10 cats, but
Yeah.
they can pay you double.
Yeah.
But they got
or,
10 cats, they'll destroy your house.
or very big family, or lots of young kids, 2-year-old drawing your walls, and you might not like lah, even though they pay double or triple.
Yeah.
Right.
So, coming back to the first offer is the best offer. What I see is that, okay, this scenario, a owner just lists his house like yesterday, and then within a week, there is a really good offer. A buyer made a really good fair offer to the owner. But owners, of course, they want to sell for higher. They feel that, oh, my house I just listed, and then there's so quickly I get such a good offer. I would like to wait for a better offer. But what most sellers do not realize is that this buyer that made the offer, how can they come with such a good offer in the first place? Because they have been in the market for some time and they know what they actually want.
Especially, I think if you're dealing with area specialist agents
Yeah.
like us, we have the buyers actually, we've been nurturing them for
Correct.
a very long time. They've been seeing 10, 20 houses
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. So sometimes we get offers really quick, but sellers tend to have the misconception that, oh, I can actually fetch a higher offer the second or third or fourth offer.
Because my
right?
house is great.
Yeah, it's great.
I think it's great. Don't get me
can
wrong.
fetch
It's
a
great.
higher,
Yeah.
we can fetch a higher price.
Yeah. So we as real estate agents, I think we through our interactions, we know which buyer, we know the seller. So sometimes we really have to put our judgment into let the seller know that our reasons why we should take the offer as well.
I mean, a
Yeah.
good example was the Datuk Sulaiman house.
Yeah.
When we first listed it, think of how you had an offer. We listed it slightly above market, 1.68. Market price should be around 1.6, I think, the list price. So we listed it at 1.68. And obviously, once we listed it, I think we brought in an influx of clients, right?
Yeah.
We arranged because it was a new listing. And actually, how your buyer made an offer that was quite fair, I thought, very quickly, because they had already
Yes.
been viewing with you for a number of months and they've seen a number of properties. And it was just at 1.68 and their offer was 1.58. The
Yeah,
last,
around there.
after
around
a few
there.
rounds of negotiation, right?
Yes.
And he said, my last and final offer is 1.58. And then the owner said, wow, so fast I think we list too low. So they said, let's wait. It's been,
Less than from at what
what
price?
was the price? 1.65?
Yeah, I think it's 1.65.
Oh my God,
Less
yeah,
than from
1.65. Today we are reaching 8 months into the listing and we have not gotten any offer that's higher than that. And the number of viewers have dwindled because I think it's been on the market for a while. And we actually went back to the buyer as well because they've already cooled down and they felt
Sian already.
yeah, the momentum is no longer there. So they put on hold and today we're still working hard. And in fact, actually now they have dropped their list price to 1.65 and they will close, I think even 1.55 we might be able to close at this juncture.
Yeah, that's why most of the time I also try to secure a deal within a day because we don't know what will happen tomorrow. Maybe when you are sleeping and then maybe your wife will give you some advice. Maybe
Advice, yes.
you consult with your relative and then there's a lot of different opinions that might affect you.
Yeah, nothing is certain until
That
both
is-
buyers and the
Seller
buyer and seller
has
sign on a
signed.
dotted line.
Because it's happened before, everything agreed verbally. Seller goes for dim sum in the morning with your parents. Come back, Imping, I miscalculated lah. Actually, I need 100,000 more.
We had relative tell him that you sold at this price.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cannot be lah. I mean, it's true story. But circling back to the story, the first story about having multiple offers and actually it's not just about the price. A lot of people think it's about the price, but in the end, that seller actually picked the slightly lower offer because the first offer that was higher was a cash buy. The second one had some loan. I think it was just a
some form of
marginal loan. But the seller, I think he's quite savvy.
Yeah.
Because he felt uncomfortable that it was a cash buy and therefore the source of fund might be questionable, thereby creating a liability for everyone, including himself.
Yeah.
So sometimes I think you're right. It's not just about the price, but it's also
Many other things that you have to consider. It's not just about price.
which is why I think that doing real estate is not so straightforward. Just to demystify this idea that, your agent,
Condo closed door.
that is the infamous thing that we get. Why your commission so high? You open door, close door. But actually, through the years, you learn discernment, you learn judgment, and through your experience and your sincerity and investment in this industry because of your reputation and because you truly care about your client, over the years you will learn which offer actually is better than the other. It's not just about price, but it's the probability of the deal going through smoothly and a happy transaction.
There really is no right or wrong.
Is it too much for
it's
you?
a lot. It's a lot of information.
Very quiet. I'm sorry.
sorry.
Do we sound over you?
No. It's okay. To be honest, if I was the owner, I'd just go with the highest. I'd be like, okay, give me that money. Let's go.
Yeah.
But-
Instinctively.
Yeah, instead of me just like, oh, money. But you guys brought up a lot of really good points. There are a lot more factors that go into the decision making when it comes to multiple offers lah. I guess it is really important to have good agents that is honest, transparent, and also has the skill of discernment lah. So with that, we're gonna move on to the next question. This question I've actually been thinking about for a while, and it was because it's one of the first things I learned when I joined sort of the real estate industry, kind of. Is I've done my research, so you can look it up if you don't believe me. In Malaysia, there is no law that says that if a death or a crime has occurred on the property, that a property agent is obligated to disclose that information.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. The only information that needs to be disclosed are if there are any defects in the home or if there are any factors that might harm the buyer, the potential buyer. Given that, Yinping, question for you, the son.
Okay.
In situations where a property has sensitive history, such as a previous death or crime, how do you approach disclosure, especially here in Malaysia where it's not mandatory? What ethical considerations come into play for you?
Wow.
Heavy question.
Heavy question, because if I don't close the sale, I don't eat. So do you want to sell this property or do you not? My buyer really likes it.
You won't be able to eat, but you also won't be able to sleep peacefully at night.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. And I think for me, to be really honest, although I wish not to disclose and I wish to close, but I think I've been in the industry for almost 10 years. It's not a touch and go situation for me. I think my reputation is, at least I would like to think that my reputation is worth more than a deal. And the world's very small. So I'm a firm believer of what goes around comes around. So the short answer is yes, I would disclose it. And I have done that before. And the response sometimes, and you'll be surprised, right? So you'll be surprised. You say, hey, somebody died here before when they commit suicide, I have to tell you lah. Okay, I hope. I understand if you don't want, that's okay. Then you know what's the response of the client?
Right.
I'm more afraid of the living than the dead. It's okay. Let's go ahead with it. I like this property.
And then you're open with him, and they accept it. Yeah.
They accept and he said, I love it. It's okay. Maybe let's negotiate on the price. But to be honest, it doesn't bother me. I mean, 10 people can commit suicide here, but it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
And so I think and then the deal went through and it was a happy thing. And I think that more importantly, I think for me, the stakes are high for me here, right? Because this is not a side hustle for me. I do this, I'm full-time on it and full focus on this. So for me, reputation is important. And the short answer, again, affirmative. I would say, yes, I would disclose any death, I think it's not just death, crime, or any sort of questionable things I would make known. I say, it's up to you. I totally understand if you.
So I just wanted to ask a question because you're talking about the deal went through, but has there ever been a point where because something happened, death or crime, has a buyer ever okay, I like this house, but can bring down skip for me?
Yeah, of course. Then they'll negotiate on the price. But that's a rare case, to be honest.
Okay.
I mean, folks, let's be real lah. Even if somebody's committed suicide, I don't know whether I would have the guts. I don't know. Kevin, would you buy a house but it's cheap? But it's a single story house in Taman Tun and it's 900,000. But then the whole family died inside.
No, I won't be able to sell a house like this even if I disclose or not disclose. Because I also don't have to step into the house. How am I going to bring a buyer to go to the house?
That catch is the limit lah. That's as far
as I go.
Don't think I dare to go in lah.
Oh yeah, Samuel won't dare to go in, right? If the house nobody stay a long time, also he would take the whole team with him to open the door, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't disclose if there's death. I wouldn't disclose if there's a natural death, due to old age or anything like that. But if it's due to something gruesome like a murder or suicide, then I would definitely disclose upfront. Because first thing, I'm very afraid. Second, I just don't know whether I can get through if anything happens to the buyer.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. But generally, what ourselves as agent, I mean, those are rare cases, murders or suicide.
Sure.
But our side here on a more everyday note, right? So actually, as agents, we usually tend to disclose things like, okay, this house has parking issues, or maybe there's at this time of the day, this house operating a tuition, so you expect a lot of parking. Or maybe you might have difficult neighbors which you want to tell them. All right.
Yeah.
And then also if there are some aspects of the location which is not apparent from the outside. For instance, maybe this house is near to a cemetery or maybe to a station Kumbahan. We always tell we have a duty to tell, because even if they buy now, they'll find out sooner or later, and then they will come calling you and complaining already. So it's best to state everything upfront and just make it clear.
And sometimes you'll be surprised.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times, especially if it's just these little things. Actually, most of the time they will say, suddenly it doesn't become a big issue. But if you don't tell, I feel it becomes
Yeah.
amplified, right?
And then I also experienced before, the more honest I am, the more the client wants to buy. I also don't know why.
Recently you had a kid, right? What happened? Are you
Yeah.
Because the house had multiple offers already.
And multiple offers, but the more honest and in-depth I went into each house, different option at different location, it somehow justified that the house that they made the offer is the best of the best house that they can find at the current moment. Right? So, well, that's how it goes, but we'll still work hard and find another house for that particular buyer, right? So, yes.
And we will help you until you find the
Yeah,
right
I'll
house.
make it my personal goal.
Samuel, go ahead.
Yeah, Samuel, I mean, but rental is a hit or miss. What do you think? Do you think it's necessary? I mean, sale, I guess, I do feel the heavy weight because then it's a big asset to liquidate. But rental is not really a big deal, right? Somebody got murdered inside, or
If I don't know, then okay lah.
if you know, okay, but the rental is 10,000. Wow,
My life got many 10,000 ah. Okay ah.
20,000,
My life also got many
Wow.
20,000.
30,000.
My life got many millions. Don't worry.
Okay, so I think Samuel is quite clear on his stance.
Okay,
Yeah. Alright.
okay.
You can't buy him off with money. It's not. His integrity is worth more. Is it? Can I say that, or you have something to add?
See my relationship with you lah.
If the guy is hand and neck, if the guy not nice, nasty, then I don't
Yeah, is it? That how you?
No comment.
No, Karan. Okay.
Okay, wait. Just sort of building upon that a little bit more.
Mm.
Okay, this is in the situation yang you know that there's something that happened.
Mm.
What if you don't know? But you find out the person I put down, I'm going to sign, and then you find out
Oh,
something happened.
It's 100,000 commission.
Yeah.
For how? 100,000.
You're about to put in your pocket.
Got to sign already. They cleared all the clauses, and it was so stressful because the last 2 weeks the lawyers were going back and forth. But finally, we've agreed on all the clauses. 150,000 commission. Going to sign already, but then you found out that
Got people that inside.
Oh, yeah.
the
Oh.
security guard killed the maid and the kids. True story.
What drama?
Out somewhere in Bangsa, a client told me that, and they found the maid and the kids in the water tank or something like that.
Oh, this is
my.
true story.
It's true story,
Oh,
but I mean,
no.
we want the agent. My client told me that there was this story. 150,000.
I think reputation is always like,
200,000 commission.
Just bringing up.
hey, because of our good reputation, maybe we can, I believe that we can earn
Mm,
beyond that.
beyond that.
Mm.
Because it's about sustainability, right?
Yes, because
it's not a
we-
shotgun.
Because we're working for it for is for very, very long term. Unless today is my last day of in the real estate.
Or maybe that day is when I about to make the call to inform, then suddenly I see my car being towed.
Sorry.
Then I
Oh,
How?
I
Close one eye.
you,
Like that
you
one of the-
need money, the kids need to eat.
yeah, I need to buy milk for the baby.
Yeah.
Oh, my car gonna tow the person at the back putting up the tow truck chain already. Wow, this one tough question. I hope we don't have to go to that level lah.
Whatever lah.
Yeah, I
Yeah. But
Yeah,
then I think what Koha says is that, I mean, in the end, if this is your career and this is your full time, and that's why, like, I can't emphasize this enough, and I'm not really sure how to say it without being over passionate, is that actually doing real estate and picking the right agent is so crucial and so important. And picking someone that also has a stake in it. A lot of times we come across fellow colleagues who are just doing it part-time, or it's a friend, so therefore I give a chance. But there's no stake, there's no skin in the game. Then it becomes an easy decision not to disclose. 200,000 today, you just sign, nothing to do with me, right?
yeah, I
As-
take the
as-
money, then I just
Yeah.
go away lah. I can wipe my
Because
hands.
your reputation is not important. I'm here for the sprint. I'm not here for the marathon, right? If it's a marathon, then it matters, right? Because like what Raisa said, I mean, correct, right? Legally,
Yeah. I mean, there's no law, lah, basically. There's
so
no
if
law.
you've got no skin in the game and you are just representing, you're just helping a friend and say, oh, never mind, like, my friend give me a chance to cari makan, so I just help this buyer to find. But people don't realize, it goes beyond that. Selling a home, buying a home, there's a lot more at stake than just, just show the house. Oh, never mind, it's okay, you can co-broke with other agent, right? The area specialist there. But I don't think it's that simple, right?
It's not that simple.
You select somebody that is in it for the long term.
Yeah.
Then reputation becomes more important than
Yeah, you have to go for some agent that has a lot to lose if they do something that is not right.
But when come back to the topic, right, whether to disclose or not, sometimes I would think that for me, it's depend on the timing also. Because if you are first time when the client viewing this house and then you tell them everything about a sensitive story, but actually the client might not show interest to the house in the first place. I think I will tell them only when they show interest or make an offer to the house. Then we will tell him that actually this house let's go.
You need
this
to be
kind of-
aware of
yeah,
the
This
following
there's a-
things.
this story, so you're aware of it. Yeah, and then maybe you give a second thought of it. Yeah,
Mm.
and it's good also. Maybe the client well enough with the unit. Yeah, and then they might have a second thought. Maybe I should.
But the point is that you will disclose.
Yeah.
Right. It's just timing, but you
Just
will.
timing.
Right.
So basically, if you all good people, huh? So basically, at the end of the day, if you know something bad, you will tell
And
you.
it's not just that we're good people. It's just a small correction. It's just like what Kenneth said.
Uh-huh.
We've got more to lose.
You're more to lose by not being honest. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess lah, more to lose, but
We're human too, so you know.
I know.
How many handbags can buy?
I know
100,000?
exactly. You have to eat also. But this, I guess, so far from my understanding, let's say, if I am a buyer and I go to you guys, okay lah, you guys will tell me the truth. But I guess just to keep in mind is maybe to be more mindful and maybe ask more questions, because there is no law against this.
Agree.
It's just advice in general, If you feel off sikit, just ask.
Yeah.
Do a bit of digging.
Yeah.
Talk to the neighbors. I've recently sold a condo and they weren't sure whether should they buy this condo, and then they just stroll around and then they talk to the auntie, and then the auntie said, yeah, actually I got no complaints for this condo. Although it's a almost 30 years old condo, but I have no issues except for monkeys. But it turns out, the buyers love monkeys. They said monkeys are great, so they put down the check the next day. So I think you're right. You do your homework, talk to the neighbors, ask around.
Yep.
Yeah. Probe your agent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ask probing questions.
Okay. Good. Guys. I like
Pass.
I'm
Okay.
pass.
Manager.
Pass. Okay, now we move on.
Okay.
So this is my final question before we bring in the next guest. So this is also another heavy question. So I'm just gonna give you guys the question straight up. The question is, have you ever encountered discrimination in real estate, whether against you or someone else? And how did you deal with it? So I'm just gonna give a little bit of my story. It's nothing really bad, but it's just a little bit of like, oh, I didn't know that this was a thing. Maybe I'm just a bit naive lah. About a year ago, a friend and I were planning to move into, a nice place. We wanted to start renting out. And so we were looking at places here and there. And a question that kept coming up that I was like, oh, I didn't know that was a question to be asked, was what is the race of me and my friend? And I was like, sensitive. I was like, nothing bad happened because she's Chinese and I'm Malay. Nothing bad happened. No one was
Trying
like
something.
Say nothing bad happened.
Yeah, Chinese.
I don't know. That's the thing, because nothing bad happened.
Okay.
No one like stopped us or like, oh, we don't want to.
Yeah.
We don't want to, let you guys stay here.
So
Whatever.
you got approved.
Yeah. We got approved, so to speak. But it was just something that I was like, oh, okay, this is something that is brought up, something that, I'm not sure if it's legal or not legal in terms of, owners sort of asking, it's like, oh, who's going to be staying in my house? Kind of thing. So that's my story. So I guess my question, I think I'm gonna, because I'm like asking all the main guys, so I'm gonna ask Samuel.
I'm also the main guy.
You're also main guy. Oh, sorry.
I think you meant the younger guy.
younger
You
guy.
think we're old. I
Yeah,
just feel
yeah.
it's an age discrimination.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That be the main answer then. Because Samuel, you're also the youngest in the team. So have you ever encountered discrimination? Also, I guess based on your age, lah.
Yeah.
experience.
Yes. When I just started my career in real estate, back then, it's my first year. Just finished SPM. Yeah. I was in project sales back then. Then So the story is like this. So basically, project sales, you always attend roadshows, property fairs, conventions, and so on. So we'll have scale model, buntings, brochure, and so on. So we were at the one of the property portals conventions, selling one of the KLCC project lah. And because probably I was only 17 or
Wow, so young.
18.
Yeah, so
then,
young.
Wow.
Yeah. Then
Like
probably
college
my probably my leader, if my leader is hearing this, she thinks that 17-year-old cannot sell house one lah. Never mind lah. Got another, because
They
got another.
ask you to do all the job, lah, take all the bundle,
Yeah.
renting, everything.
Then got another
Age
roadshow to prepare, right?
discrimination.
So have to then send me to Johor.
Wow, someone in Johor, right?
Then,
And I heard you had to take a bus.
yeah, because I don't have a car, I don't have driving license.
Oh yeah lah, 17.
So then took a bus, carry a few buntings, few stack of brochure. One stack is about 100 piece. So carry, go set up. The next day I stand alone. So in Johor also property fair like that lah. So you got other booth, other project. Then other booth like, young boy standing alone.
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 The worst and
So anyhow, I still set up lah. I do my job lor. What can I say, right? We leader, why you send me here like that? Cannot, right? Then so Ngam got a foreigner. Yeah. The way he speaks, so I know it's a foreigner lah. It's confirmed not Malaysian lah. Then say, hey boy, you know what you selling or not? You look very young only leh. Yeah, I am very young. Yes, and I know what I'm selling lah. So then I speak in Chinese lor, cause he's also a Chinese. Say, 老板要看看吗? You want see or not? This one is KLCC project. Where? What is the price? Then I say, you sure or not? Yeah, I quite sure lah, quite sure, cause I memorize all the info. Then suddenly, cause it's 10, just start roadshow. Then I was holding 100 piece of brochure, just take out from paper, open. Then suddenly, I was looking at the sales scale model. The next thing is